story is simple. I was born in Poland in 1938. Just 6 months before the war started between Germany and Poland, and Poland won, of course. But I had a precocious life, full of mischief, and I remember one incident where I climbed to the top of a pear tree, which was about 25 feet high, and I stepped on a branch and the branch broke and I fell all the way down. But I was caught by the flesh and it ripped my leg wide.
Oh my gosh.
And this broke the fall though.
Wow, okay. That's good news.
That was one incident, of which there are many. But I was always into mischief. I once drilled a hole in my hand because we had no electricity, so you had to use a red hot nail to drill.
How come?
And that was painful.
I can imagine. That's pretty hardcore.
And I recovered it. You can't even tell where it was injured. I once almost chopped off my thumb using a hatchet. And poof! I brought the thing home, dangling. My mother shrieked, but she was a herbalist, so she put the thing together, put some herbs on it, put a bandage on it, and about a month later it was all healed.
Wow. How old were you?
At that stage I was well, maybe five years.
Oh. So you could use the left one just like the right one, your thumb after
Yeah,
it was healed?
everything is fine. Everything works fine. And then I lost my train of thought. And let's go back to the time that the Germans in the meantime invaded Poland. That was the middle of 1939. And they were horrible conquerors because they had no mercy on anybody outside of their own kind. And they just slaughtered everybody in between. My parents, my father took me and to the forest that we had in a huge forest in Poland that the Germans wouldn't come anywhere near because they feared for their life. And I spent almost 9 months hiding out, being eaten alive by mosquitoes and flies. And then when the war ended, we came back, and we waited about 2-3 years. My father was pretty smart. He thought of things well in advance. So we were automatically American citizens before the war. So we got passage booked to come to America, and my father connived his way through everything. He was pretty sharp, I must say that. And we beat the passage. We landed on Ellis Island after spending almost 2 weeks bobbing up and down in the ocean, and
Mhm.
that was seasick. And then I remember opening a porthole to get some air, and it was just above the water line,
Oh.
and the wave came crashing down and into the stateroom, and I was very clean after that.
Damn.
How old were you when you were coming to America?
I was 9 years old.
How did your father get citizenship?
Hmm?
How did your father get citizenship?
Because he was born in the United States.
Oh, okay, got it,
Okay.
got it.
Oh.
So he was naturally a citizen.
So we lucked out that way because my other parents had to wait 2 years before they could come over. But they were lucky; they came by plane.
That's way more comfortable.
No, I wouldn't want to wish that on anybody. That sickening feeling.
Huh.
But 2 weeks. Can you imagine being
No.
seasick for 2 weeks?
Nope. I get
Right.
sick in 5 minutes.
Right when you left the shore, you started getting seasick.
Hmm?
Right when you left the shore, you started getting seasick.
Yeah, that's what 2 days when out of port, all of a sudden they dropped anchor and we just sat there bobbing up and down.
Oh my gosh.
Like apples, and that was exciting. And then we finally landed in Ellis Island. It took 3 days to process. And this was in 1948, the winter, that was the worst winter in history, with 48 inches of snow that fell that year.
Now you didn't have, since your dad was a citizen.
Huh?
Since your dad was a citizen, didn't you have to? Weren't you able to get around all that waiting?
No, but the country after the war was devastated. And my parents were poor to start with. They owned some land, but it was barely enough to scrape a living together. So my father decided to come to the United States, and we're here as a result.
He was asking why you had to wait in Ellis Island if you were already a citizen.
Because
All the refugees had to come through Ellis Island.
got it.
Anyone that was not born,
So wait, so your dad was born here, but so your dad went.
well, he had to go through the process too.
Oh, okay.
Because that was, but that was a precaution so that you left whatever diseases you had.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
And then I started school, and I was, well, before the journey home was torturous because we walked from the 59th Street Bridge to Long Island City to along Queens Boulevard,
Oh.
through Sunnyside, through Woodside, through and to Maspeth.
Wow.
That's
With
insane.
bags?
That took 6 hours
With
for us
suitcases or bags?
make that walk.
That's an insane walk.
Oh my goodness.
And then we finally landed,
He probably had bags.
and my father's father greeted us at the door, but he was a sick person, so we got lodging for the night, and that was it. And then we were thrown out the next morning.
Huh. Crazy.
But by your own dad, by your father's father.
My grandfather was a sick person, and his wife didn't want to be interrupted, so
Huh.
we were kicked out.
Wow.
Luke, how many siblings did you have?
Huh?
Did you have siblings with you?
Yeah, I had my sister,
Any bags? Any
and my
any
dad,
luggage?
my sister, and my dad. And then we were fortunate because Providence was smiling on us for some reason. we met a relative, and he took pity on us, and he brought us to his home. And we stayed there for about almost 3 months. But they were very hospitable and loving and kind. And then my father started got a job and started to work. Working at a cemetery. And that's donkey work.
Right. Yeah.
But he worked for 3 months until he scraped up enough money to pay the rent and whatever. And we moved in with a family that took us in for a couple of months. And we survived. And then we started school. I had to start from the sixth grade. I had to learn Polish, English,
Yeah.
which I did in 6 months' time.
Wow.
Wow.
Excellent.
No, that was pretty fast. But that was survival mode.
Good to hear that.
And then I went to school, a Catholic school, and the nuns were very nice and cordial and helpful, and
Okay.
they helped me win a scholarship to the high school that I attended, Bishop Lachlan in Brooklyn, if you know of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Prospect Avenue.
yeah. So my tuition was paid for.
That's amazing.
For 4 years. And then I joined the Army
Army.
when I was 17,
Oh, you're a soldier.
and I served three years before I graduated. Then I went on active duty and finished the rest of the time that I committed to. And then I got married. But not until age 26, so when my service obligation and everything was done with, so I was home free. And here I am. And then I met and married a lovely young lady that was sweet 16 at the time when I first met her. And we've been married ever since.
It's awesome.
And that's the story of my life. A little short, but
Yeah, it's a cool story.
What's your wife's name?
Lillian. And we had difficulty too, because she was born Protestant and I was Catholic.
Oh boy.
So we had a conflict of sorts to overcome to start with.
My wife was born Protestant too.
Yeah, but my wife converted voluntarily because she liked the faith, so that worked for my benefit.
Usually whatever the woman is on that, when you get married, it's always whatever the woman is. Oh.
I see.
Is that what happened with Patty, Wayne?
Excuse me?
Is that what happened with Patty?
No, she's Catholic.
Oh,
She's-
okay.
yeah. Delaney, come on.
It is what it is.
And we had the usual difficulties that most people encountered, mainly prejudice and what have you, because we are and were a sick society, and we still are, for that matter, because anything that's unusual, anything that's not the same as we are, we tend to be prejudiced against it, and that sticks in my core.
When you
I'm with
joined
you on
the
that,
Army,
homie.
did they use
with you.
your knowledge of Polish?
Hmm?
When you in the Army, did they use your knowledge of Polish?
No, they used my knowledge because I was wise enough to take typing as a course. So
Typing course. Oh, okay, cool.
I
You remember Core Maker?
no, I had especially instead of wasting it with something nonsense. I took typing and shorthand.
You're way smarter than me.
So that fit in with the Army's needs because
Right.
they always need clerk typists in those days because everything was done on typewriter.
Very good.
So I lucked out there. I got my promotions
Nice.
accordingly when it was time. So that I had no problem. And I missed the Korean War because of that, because of being able to type and being in the reserves after my enlistment was up.
What did you do for a career after you left the Army?
Oh, I worked maybe 36 jobs
Okay.
because I was not happy with anything that I tried. So I
Fair enough.
kept on trying. The jobs were easy to come in that day and age, because there's always somebody looking for work. So jobs were plenty. So I had carte blanche. I was not happy with anything, and then I finally got into a place that was air freight, and they handled the three airports, Newark, LaGuardia, and Kennedy, and I got to number 3 position in a company, and it had 200 employees, and I worked my butt off for 10 years, and then it started getting weary, so I decided to go on my own, and I started my own company, and I started in JFK, and the mafia killed me there because they were always at the.
Did you say the mafia?
Yeah. I was in the.
You heard that right.
That's a whole other presentation.
I want to know more about the mafia.
You don't want to know about the mafia because they are terrorists. That's all they are.
I have
They're
a
controlled
question.
terrorists.
When you were, I know you were very young, but how did your family manage to survive 9 months in the forest? What did you eat?
Yeah, I was gonna
Where
say the
did you
same
sleep?
thing.
Yeah, good question.
Roots, mushrooms.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whatever. You killed some game because we were a band of people that banded together, so we provided for each other.
Now, what month did you go into the forest? Was it like in the spring or in the winter or the summer? What month?
What?
When
Did
you
you-
were in the forest?
What season?
What season?
I think it started in June, right at
Okay.
the beginning of the cold spell.
Okay. Wow.
And that was a bitch.
Sounds like it.
You remember it?
Oh yeah, that's like embedded in stone at this stage.
Wow.
That's amazing.
But I always had a good memory until my stroke, and that took me 3 years to get my wits back. So that, but I didn't get all my talents back because I still had trouble with the computer. And I was a whiz, got to be a whiz on a computer.
But you still made us all these.
Yeah.
I needed to be a whiz on the computer
this
for. Sailors everything.
I like doing things like that, so I have no problem with that.
You're excellent at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're better at this than you are at drilling.
Yeah.
No more drilling. No more drilling.
Yeah. No more handiwork.
No more. Good.
Huh.
Yeah, but what would you do if you had no electricity? So
Yeah. I hear you.
everything was by hand.
I hear you. Sometimes you gotta do some crazy stuff. I hear you.
And
Wow.
you live by candlelight or kerosene light.
So you're really a survivor.
Yeah, totally.
Totally
Complete survivor.
Yeah, a lot of near Mrs.
Especially with the Nazis.
And surviving 5 strokes is
5 strokes.
is pretty darn good too.
Wow,
9 months in the
That's a
winter in
record.
the woods. Seasickness for 2 weeks.
Serious.
Drills
I-
through your falling out of trees. You did it all.
Yeah. And then I ran my air freight company.
Yeah.
And I was in New Jersey. I moved to New Jersey after the mafia chased me out.
And the mafia, yeah.
Yeah, and I
Survived the
was
mafia.
locating myself right at the airport because I had made some contacts that allowed me to be at the airport.
Amazing.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
all that with
Totally.
us.
Yeah, good work.
Thank you.
That was good.